All right, welcome to the Jesus Show. Today's episode of Lizurds Tale, we're going to get into a little bit of what we talked about yesterday on 100F about expectations versus reality. Or was that yesterday? That was yesterday.
Yeah.
And just advertising versus substance and whatnot. But first, introduce you to Day Life Mary, who's going to be on the show today.
Yeah, word from our sponsors. We are sponsored by the one and only Automat. You can make a wash to cash.me/$washitall, paypal.me/washitall. You can email 100f@automat.me to make a wash of Duruble Guuds. And you can DM me on Twitter at RealCultGirl to wash government coin. And washing is how you buy your soul back. And if you want to know more about washing, you can always DM me.
All right, so let's just get the fuck into it. So on yesterday's episode, I was talking about expectations versus reality, how that works, how expectations basically like in the world of just an average consumer, whether you're dealing in the service industry, entertainment, anything, are far removed from reality. In fact, I'm kind of like going into that kind of stuff right now in my experiences that I'm having, is like dealing with people on like what is the actual product or fucking substance that should be delivered based on an expectation. And I also went into how that kind of relates to cults, bro. Like what are the expectations around a cult? What should a person expect out of what they're getting? What do cults rely more on the advertising or the substance? And does the average person like rely more on advertising or substance? Like what is it that people are like looking for in their experiences? And that kind of segues into what we wanted to talk about today, which is like specific people who came here for the advertising, and then like the substance of the thing was too much, or maybe the substance of the thing was too little based on like what they fucking expected.
Well, when you think of like a cult in general, the things that are advertised about them are very specific. Like the meme you made yesterday about going somewhere and getting love bombed.
Right.
Like getting all this attention and not having to work for it, and getting trafficked into a situation like where you can be like, I'm just getting like swept up into something that, I don't, it's like, it's sensationalized.
Yeah.
And even part of like the disconnect of coming here and realizing it's not a trafficking cult, like it's not something that you can, it's not like all the other cults out there. I mean, even art school, that's like a cult I have specific like experience with. That's one where you kind of go and you get swept up into an advertised reality, and it's like nothing about it is real, so it's really like mesmerizing. You don't have to face any reality about yourself or like the world.
Where's the cookie board?
The wooden one or the fake marble one?
The one that's right there. It's gone.
Underneath the toaster in the door, or in the, like, if you open the cabinet,
That's
it's
the toaster right
yeah. There in that one on the right, there should be.
You just stay out.
Does that make sense?
I forgot. Oh, you're talking about. You started talking about art school.
I was talking about like a cult, all the other cults that are out there that are all advertisement when you get there. And I was just saying that's an example of one it is advertisement before and when you get there, it continues to be.
What?
You're like really, I feel like you're.
What?
I don't know. I feel like that thing's happening where I like go off on a tangent about something and you're like, I don't want this to be happening.
Oh no. I had kind of a plan about how I was gonna segue
That's
these
what
things.
I mean. Like you
And
have
now
a
I'm
plan
like,
and then it goes off and it's different.
I don't know how to like kind of like adjust to the original thing I was thinking about talking about. Which might be a flaw in my plan, bro.
Well, it's something really broad to really specific.
Yeah, bro. I don't know. Me trying to kind of like tie this into a fucking larger point. I'm trying to do that, but I'm trying to like bring it. I'm trying to like do that at the beginning, which isn't really like, I don't know. It doesn't really make it's not working for me in my way of like bringing it all together. So, but bro, this is one of those moments where I'm like, I'm like, end the fucking live, like end it, destroy the don't go back. I'm trying to like fucking figure it out like in the moment, bro. But this happened on the last one. This happened every time I try to go live about someone specific or like talk about a topic. It always starts like this. It always starts where I'm like, I can't fucking get into it. And last time that happened, it became like this live about, me trying to like gloat about fucking winning a situation or whatever. So maybe that is like repeating for me this idea of like, oh, well, this fucking live is about fucking winning like last and for all or whatever, like winning for good against this fucking annoyance. It's kind of just an annoyance. It's a fucking opposition. And I'm like, oh, bro, if I can fucking frame it into this larger point, that will fucking save me from like looking like I give a fuck or anything like that. And also like, it's just kind of like padding the fucking thing. But now I feel like I've gone a little bit meta about the fucking thing. But bro, I'm trying not to be.
Well, I think that you're pretty like hesitant to talk about somebody specific in general, but that's like there's not really I don't know, like aren't we kind of just discussing one person being annoying and how that's like a blueprint of how a lot of people choose to what advertisement most everyone chooses to believe, right? Doesn't that person just represent like advertisement?
I don't know, bro. It's not even about that. It's like about my own fucking like. I feel like I didn't do the fucking thing that I identified as the thing that I had to do last time, which was like get into the fucking 12-minute thing where I just process the feelings about the fucking story before we even get into it or whatever. Because now I'm like, oh, it's too, now this is supposed to be. I'm like worried so much about the product that I'm fucking creating with this thing that I can't get over it and get into like a flow state of what the fuck I'm even talking about. Because I'm like, oh, now this is like the live where we're gonna fucking talk about this one thing. And to me, I feel like I have to be like cool about the fucking thing that we're talking about. And I don't feel like that's what's happening right now. Or like I'm just going in and trying to like frame it around this idea of advertising. It's right, like there is fucking truth in it, but I can't fucking make the connection points. And now I'm like, fuck. Well, am I like showing? I'm like trying to give less, and I feel like I'm like giving up a lot of fucking shit in just being like, it's just a control vibe, bro. It's just coming up again, where I'm like, every time there's like some opportunity to fucking speak on something that's going on, and I don't just get right the fuck into it. I don't know how to do it in a fucking nuanced way, bro. I don't know how to like frame it in a fucking larger way. But it's also now I'm like triggered because I'm like, did I go fucking am I spending all this time talking about the meta fucking thing, and then like before I actually get into the fucking topic itself? Like I said, bro, Jesus days, maybe this is a fucking 100F topic, bro. Because maybe I didn't process the feelings that I need to process on my last live to be able to fucking talk about this as a fucking thing. You know what I'm saying?
I think so. I'm like beyond, I'm just, I feel like it's true that you get, when there's something that's like important or like, not even important, but it has to do with like being, it's like you want to prove something or like win at something. You want to control it, and it like it does give it more power than if you just like.
But that's what I'm like, how do I fucking transition into the fucking thing anymore now that I've given it fucking power or whatever?
I don't know, maybe this live has to be about some other stuff first.
What? Okay.
Like, maybe we have to be broad.
Broad about what?
Advertisement versus reality, like another live about that, going less in, you went into it yesterday mostly about like pain matrix things and like service, hospitality, like I think there's probably more to say about it in terms of like cults and relationships and the internet and the IRL and the URL.
I can't get into any of those meta topics. I don't know why I'm not even hearing the fucking words. I don't know what it all means right now, bro. It looks great though. The fucking live looks. The fucking lighting is fucking great. It's a really pensive fucking screen. What?
What did you say?
It's a pensive fucking moment in the Jesus show, bro.
It really is. I feel it.
This is what happens when I get too meta, bro. I get confused as to what the fucking thing is, bro. And I'm like,
well,
I need PR to fucking save the day, bro. I need my PR woman to like. I might be unfit to be going live right now.
I think you might have to call it a wash on this topic on this day. And just kind of like vibe with it and see what you want to talk about. Maybe I'm not the greatest at like suggestions that you seem to be very interested in. I can keep running them off, but you know.
What, the suggestion show, bro? Maybe
Yeah.
maybe it's just a topic. What if it was just a topic suggestion show where I just
reject topics?
I'm like, fuck
I get
that, bro.
help in my rejection issues, and you get help in your control issues because
Like I get to control the show further because I have all these options on where to take it, and I can't fucking take it there.
Mm-hmm. You could talk about like. You could talk about DLA and Temple specifically, and you could talk about people's...
My control thing is getting triggered super hard. It sounds like nails on the fucking chalkboard hearing you fucking talk about the thing that I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
It feels like I'm dying inside. Mm-hmm. And I think that's an important... It might just have to be about that because I feel like that's why I was trying to avoid doing this live with you is because like when I'm alone... I can fucking get like charged up to just say the thing I'm supposed to do. Trying to do it with you, I just can't. It makes me so fucking insanely fucking like tied up in the fucking thing. Cause I feel like I'm trying to like make a product, which is a conversation of ours. I thought about just setting up the camera for this live and just fucking having the conversation and not talking to the fucking screen at all. I think me trying to have a conversation with you that feels real and doing it like to the audience, I just like I don't know why it feels so insane. Like I don't know if
we should have it be us talking with the camera on us.
Like, should we do that now?
Yeah, sure.
But I'm like I want to talk about that more, you know. Before we get into it. I also have like, I get so fucking triggered about the fucking, the process, like how much of like, to me just process just sounds so messy. Like it sounds like a mess. And I'm like trying to figure out what like a process looks like without it just being a mess. And I know that part of it's supposed to be like, it's supposed to be clean. It's supposed to be fucking professional or whatever. But the way I don't know. Sometimes I'm able to process things very professionally. But then I'm like, okay, well, when that doesn't work and then there's a deeper fucking foundational issue to the process, I feel like I got to process that. And that's when it gets fucking messy. And then I'm like, okay, is this still fucking content? Like, is this content that is like, is it too lawless, bro? Is it lawless to fucking speak on how I fucking feel about the thing? But then I'm like, bro, you gotta fucking talk about how you feel. But is that moving backwards? I think maybe it just goes to the fucking good boy versus bad boy shit we were talking about yesterday. It's like going in and trying to like being a person who can walk into a room and fucking say hello and totally like guide the narrative where he wants to guide it. Rather than like falling back on just being like a vibe, going completely on fucking vibes. You know what I'm saying? Kind of.
Yeah, I think so.
I feel like right now I'm kind of falling back on vibes, but it's like vibey ideas because I am talking. But anytime I like settle on one thing, I'm like, no, there's more to unpack. Like I'm not satisfied that I'm ready to do the fucking thing until I unpack it. It's the same thing that happened with the fucking cult podcast. I went into like an unpack mode. But then every time I'm like, no, just get to the fucking point. It feels like I don't know. It feels like I can't get to the fucking point yet. And if I did, it would be letting the fucking point win. Because then it would be like, no, just get it over with, get through it. Which was like partially why I was fucking triggered when it was like, where you try to like speed me along on things, or like you're going too hard on this one point. I'm like, but if I like treat this as if it's like something that I just have to get through, I don't know. For some reason, planning and professionalism and all of these things, like my trigger inside is that those are just those are like things that I have to get through. And then it doesn't feel like a process anymore. It feels like a bad boy, like trying to put together like a sub fucking par product.
But there's something that I feel like packaging you need packaging. Like you need even if it's a very vague outline.
I do have an outline, but not, I'm like, but I can't get into the fucking outline until my problem is not being able to get into the outline and doing it effectively until I can process all the things that I have to feel to do the thing. And I don't know what other fucking avenue, because processing shit in private, it sometimes works when there's like multiple people. I just don't think processing shit in private with you and then coming on live really fucking gets the thing. Like, I feel like I can't even get a new idea or a breakthrough unless it's live. Like, I don't feel like my breakthroughs are even coming in private at all. So maybe it's just a thirst for it. It's like, oh, we're moving into new territory. I can tell that doing the fucking thing may fucking trigger some fucking sort of breakthrough of some kind. So, I'm like being like, or no, I feel like we're moving into new territory, and I think my insecurity is that I'm not ready to head into that new territory yet. I haven't gotten the breakthrough that I need to get. I haven't like achieved the fucking I'm not ready, bro. I'm not geared up. Like in video games, when you try to go fight a boss, and like a lot of times you go and fight, but you didn't get all the gear that you need to get to like survive the battle. So I'm like in my process and just fucking talking. It's not quite like structured, bro. But when I can talk like and get into like the meta of like why the fuck I'm doing this, I can unpack all of that. Then I feel like ready to deal with the fucking topic.
Well, what is it that you need?
I don't know.
To unpack.
This is what I needed to unpack, bro. I don't know. And it's hard to say that this was even a fucking melt through. It's just that I feel a little bit like I'm repeating the same triggers that I repeated literally last time I tried to do something. It's all about this idea in my head that one thing is going to like end the fucking narrative, which is not like, I don't know. I'm like, okay, I think it's just trying to get shit over with.
Yeah, I like to do that a lot, and I feel like that's something that...
But you try to get it over with by rushing through it.
Yeah.
And I feel like I literally can't do that. Like, I feel like in trying to rush through something, I like feel like all of these pains that I'm like, but then my other fucking way is like, maybe I need to allot myself a fucking series to everything that I feel like any sort of trigger around. I need to be like, all right, this is going to be a fucking 3 to 12 part series, so that I feel like I have the comfort and the structure to be able to have the first episode be kind of like this,
yeah,
or whatever. But then I'm not getting over shit, because none of this shit actually has any fucking, it's all for, bro, the Jesus show, there is an element in like when you're in a cult and you're working on self-development that you have to fucking develop yourself before you're able to get to other people. And I think at various points I've like felt like, okay, I'm done with, or like I've reached a point where it's like, if I just continue to try and fucking work on myself without working on others, that is somehow like that I can be done with working with on myself for some point, or that this is like for the audience, or this is like to get the audience to like feel a certain type of way, and that it stops being about me at any point. But I think it's just thresholds that I have to move past of like, okay, I've locked in some of the fucking personal stuff to where there is stuff for the audience, and then go back into like, all right, take that and then take it back into myself. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't feel like when I'm like talking about something that I'm like, this is going to have massive implications for people. It's, maybe I should, like, I don't know.
Maybe
it's like
you
this
shouldn't
combination
think
of
that
like
will.
low self-esteem and like overly kind of like cloud poisoned, but pre-cloud poisoned before I even
You're like, this is going to be
this is going to
clouted
be
up.
effective, and I have to get it right on the first fucking go, bro.
Your
But then I'm like,
control-
okay, if I get into it, my control over the time is like, if I start getting into it at 25:53 on the clock, no one's gonna. Then I have low self-esteem. It's like everyone's gonna see that this is another fucking live about me ranting about like my meta fucking unpacking my own shit to get to the point. Then they're never gonna get to the point where I talk about the shit that I thought was the point of what I was fucking talking about.
Well, maybe.
But this is how I sabotage myself to be more in private, because I was like, as long as I can put a huge fucking buffer of shit that I feel like people won't want to fucking bear through to get to the fucking thing, then I never have to get to the fucking thing and talk about it in public. Well, if I started off with the thing, maybe they would be enraptured in the fucking topic and then keep,
I feel
watching.
like you get too controlling when you put more importance on things than you should.
But then when I try to be all casual about it, it feels disingenuous.
It doesn't have to be either extreme. Like, you don't have to have no plan, completely casual, and just vibe it out.
But I had a plan.
But you also...
I had a plan, but I was trying to make it...
in the other direction. You had a plan, and you were too, like, this is important. I need to make sure this doesn't seem too important. I need to not give it too much clout. It's gonna be an important thing that I do it right. And that's just, like, your control shit gets triggered by that, and then you can't start the live any way else but processing all those triggers that you're putting together that are happening.
But what's the solution? Should I just not plan on doing I think it's a larger plan. I think what I'm trying to do, I think I'm failing in making my plan day by day and not being like, okay, I need a plan. If I'm going to plan on talking about something that fits this criteria, I got to zoom out of the fucking thing. I got to see that this is potentially a fucking thing that I'm going to have all of these control issues about, and then set up a fucking live where I talk about all of that shit and then get to the thing. I'm also super time triggered around like, partially I'm like, oh, I got to take my time with doing things. Like, I can't just get to the point, and I think things are more about that now. Like, okay, actually fucking have a good plan doing the thing. But my other trigger is like, if I don't just do it, I'm never going to do it. Because I can go into that sort of procrastination mode very easily. And sometimes it works out for me. It's like I have fucking, a certain level of returns that I get from that being the thing. But
well, that's why I just want to rush through something. I'm like afraid it won't happen.
You're afraid it won't happen.
Yeah. Be late.
But yeah. You know what? I think that
Did you see the train going by in your glasses?
Oh, really?
No, it looked kind of like it for a second. Were you gonna say something? You just
can't
trailed
sit
off
in the
middle.
I can sit in silence for fucking 12 minutes, bro. I can fucking do it until I have the fucking. I'm not even in the bad mood, and now I'm feeling like kind of comfortable about getting into things. But now I have a structural trigger that I'm like, okay, now that I've. It's so like now I'm like, bro, but like fucking 30 minutes in. He starts talking about the thing. How does that optically look? How is that packaged? You tell me, bro. Is that bad packaging? What I feel like if I did it now, there was a slight, or like, well, you know, it's such I can't figure out what the middle ground is.
I don't think it's time to go into it now, 30 minutes in, where you talk about it for 30 minutes without talking about it. I don't think that works. I think that we should probably wrap up this live. And I like this idea of getting this out and then doing the live tomorrow or later tonight, you know?
Yeah.
Later tonight could be. I don't want to give,
But I think that maybe just having the conversation, but we can talk about that off fucking camera after I process the feelings of having processed my feelings on the fucking live. Well, let's not forget, bro, these moments. No one fucking does this on a show. This has, I would love to see. I also feel like it's maybe my trigger about just being a talk show host, where it's like I'm doing a talk show, I just talk about topics, and that's like my fear of professionalism is that I will just be like unoriginal and a fucking normie. So I think subconsciously I'm like, let's do the thing that no one does, which is like talk about the meta fucking live meltdown without having the full meltdown. But I think if I plan those next time,
have a meltdown.
Talk about
having a meltdown. Get into the topic.
Yeah, bro. Maybe it's a 4-part fucking series, bro. Anyway, what's a breakthrough that doesn't happen in public for me, bro? I don't even think that they exist.
I would never have a public breakthrough.
Bro, you would never have a public breakthrough. Well, you're not kind of supposed to.
That's what I'm saying.
But I feel the time stretch. It's like that fucking shit about feeling like your time is controlled. I still have like triggers around controlled time, going live like at a certain time in the day. Like I haven't figured out how to fucking relax into time.
Well, let's just say you didn't do the live at the time.
I know. Oh, and I got fucking disrupted by 2 white ladies who were like trying to get, possibly the fucking whole reason this is fucking happening is I got on some fucking other white ladies' timetable of like them calling me right before I was supposed to go live, and then me having a discussion with them instead of fucking talking about the shit I wanted to, and then being late. So I was late. I was late to my own fucking live because I got on someone else's timetable instead of just taking a fucking message.
Some horrible women's timetables.
Oh, you don't. I mean, sure, you can just say that like because you were supposed to be mean to women. You don't actually know what's going on my phone calls or who I was talking to or what I was doing. Do you?
One of them, yeah.
Who are you talking about?
The woman.
Anyway. Oh, well, are you talking about that?
Yeah, the
one that I had earlier today. Yeah. That's not what I'm talking about. But they've been trying to control my time all this time.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, time. How do we make this fucking title work, though? A lizard's tail.
Well, one of my favorite memes is a bird controls time out of spite. And that just came to my head.
A bird controls time out of spite. What does that mean?
I don't know. I just had a meme. I wish I saved it. And there's like a bird and it said birds control time out of spite.
Oh, like with their whistling and stuff?
I
The
guess
song
so.
that they sing? But what does that have to do with the lizard's tail, bro?
Because
All right,
the lizard's
here's
tail
my
got
thing.
postponed because a bird controlled time out of spite.
That doesn't make any sense, though.
In
How
my
does
head, it's
the lizard's tail, bro? It's because you can pull off a lizard's tail over and over, and it fucking grows back. That's what I'm fucking worried about, I think, because I have triggers about even talking about the lizard in this case. Because I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna pull off the fucking tail and it's gonna grow back. Am I just feeding the fucking lizard? I never feel like I ever have like the fucking. I never feel like I have the fucking actual fucking like the cure to the or not the cure, but the. I never feel like I have the weapon. I always feel like if I fucking try and pull that lizard's tail, its tail will just grow
well,
back.
you have this. It seems like you have this idea that you're trying to like lay a final blow or something. Like you're trying to kill the story. That's not what's happening.
But I feel like what I just still don't get what like.
It's an opportunity.
So what's the point?
The story is an opportunity, and a specific person is an opportunity to talk about a larger thing.
Well, that's what this is. This was a specific opportunity to talk about my triggers about pulling off fucking lizards' tails, bro. Because in my mind, it's the same shit. That's why it structurally has the same fucking vibe as Cult Podcast episode, which you should watch, by the way, if you want to see someone get completely fucking clout poisoned on live and go off the rails.
Maybe comatose in the background.
Right. At least you look great in this live. I mean, lighting wise, probably the best live we've ever done.
It's true.
So I think that this was interesting, kind of like trying to take it back to the point I wanted to make without going into the fucking thing. But this is what happens when you fucking live in a car with someone, all right? When you live in a car, you have someone who's trying to fucking you sleep in the back of a fucking Toyota Corolla with someone. That when things come up where you're like, it's just like maybe I'm just fucking triggered around talking to guys because it's just another failed fucking relationship. It's another failed relationship with a guy who like a dude who couldn't fucking. It's just the same fucking shit as Cold Podcast. It's just a fucking failed male relationship. It's someone who could not deal with fucking loyalty. Was not a loyal bro. And if there's one thing that defines a fucking man with integrity, it is loyalty to whatever they're fucking doing. He's not even fucking loyal to the spirit of. He's not loyal to spirit at all.
Loyal to white.
So what a man, I feel like maybe I'm just triggered into my primal response, which is just like destroy that thing, like kill it, like kill the fucking thing instead of being just like whatever, loser, like you're missing out on all of these things, which would be a lot more of a high self-esteem fucking reaction to come from, is like knowing that the person is missing out, but there's like this element of like, oh, you're trying to fucking, I don't know. It is like this reaction, like I just fucking, where's the poison pill? Like, I don't even know. Poison pill isn't the expression for that, because that's the poison pill is like when you take your own poison pill. But that's what I'm doing, bro. I'm like, if I can't fucking, it's like trying to fucking get the win, you know? There isn't a fucking win in this situation. It's just like living my life and like not,
having
like
a great conversation.
Having a great conversation about some other shit. Anyway, I feel like I got some fucking clarity. I got whatever, and I'm pissed. So, well, show is brought to you by Automat. Wash it all and buy your soul back. Cash.me/$washitall, paypal.me/washitall. You can email 100f@automat.me to wash Duruble Guuds, or you can DM Real Cult Girl on Twitter. for the secret coin. You're trying to wash secret coin. Thank you for joining the Jesus Show. We'll be back. All right. But I have these shows every day, 1600 Eastern Standard Time. All my information about when they go on is on Twitter. Please, if you're watching, like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitch as well if you're watching on Twitch. Username is Jesus of Daylife. It's also my Twitter handle, Jesus of Daylife. Real Cult Girl on Twitter. Go give her a follow. Butter on Telegram, Buttur on Telegram is her channel. And you can also follow my channel on Telegram, and that is Sacred100F. All right. I will see you later.